It's day 12. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm gonna relieve Hope on her shift and I have to get suited up because I'm in a tank top right now, but it's pretty cold out there. So I'm going to suit up all my gear and relieve her, and we'll switch like 1.5 to 2 hours on and off, and the other will sleep in the cockpit. So okay, let's get ready. Alright, so this is just my pajamas, so basically one layer, and I will be putting on 3 or 4 layers. So this is one layer, and I will see you back here with all my layers. And then here are all of my layers. Got my headlamp on, my hat, and all of my foul weather gear. Down to my boots. Alright, so here is the cockpit, and we usually take this pillow, and we put it here, and then this blanket. And we each just take turns kind of nestled into this little crevice. I get some pretty quality sleep here. It's pretty good. Alright, so we're going along our track. We're going between 4 and 5 knots. Wind speed right now is 10. Looking at the compass to try to go west. Day 12, we are approximately just shy of 1,250 nautical miles off the coast of California, which is approximately, we don't know how long it's going to take, but approximately halfway between California, LA, and Hawaii. So our total trip is like pretty much split in half. So we did it the first half in 12 days. So we're thinking, we're going to celebrate. So we've got some organic sparkling apple pomegranate cider, non-alcoholic, and we're going to celebrate, but we think we're going to make some predictions on the second half. My prediction is that it's going to be quicker the second half. It's not going to be 12 full days. I think it's going to be rougher. We've had some very calm weather and we've gone slower. So I think it's going to be faster, but more like uncomfortable and abrupt.
The weather is looking like tomorrow could possibly be similar to today, which was just moderate to light winds, but we can still make some ground. And then the next 2 days after that, we get a good patch of strong winds and a pretty decent sea state, we're thinking. So that should give us a good push to Hawaii. And then after that, it kind of mellows out, but should be still a good wind. So
yeah!
Wow. Wow, look at it. It's bubbling. Oh, she's bubbling. Okay. It's slightly cold because we did turn our refrigerator off. But at least it's got a little chill to it.
It's all the more glorious when it's lukewarm.
Yep.
Nice pour.
And here's to having fun. I know I'm nervous.
yeah.
I'm freaking out. But here's to having some fun and not being able to control the controls.
I say we go over our lowlights and our highlights.
Oh, that's a good one. My worst moment probably today. Not gonna lie. Today was pretty brutal. We just had so many sail changes today and I was really exhausted, and I am a planner, an organizer, analytical, and I like to control things. So it's hard to not be able to control the wind, control the sea, control the timing, and I want us to make a certain amount of progress each day, but we can only do what we can do with what we got. So that's probably hard. I've been struggling with that the whole trip because I just want us to, I don't know, I just want everything to go smoothly, but I can't control it, so that's tough. My high, boy, I think those dolphins were pretty cool. That was the first time it was on our boat with dolphins at the bow. That was pretty cool. Wasn't anybody else's boat, it was our boat finally. We got some dolphins, and 3 times we saw them. 2 at the bow, 1 just in the morning with you and I.
Hey, Danny. I actually have neither a low light nor a highlight.
Says the person who came up with the task.
I do have a light though, which was last night. I fell asleep during night watch. I was completely knocked out. And I got up and Seth wasn't really there. He was sitting down and his hood was up. His entire face was covered in darkness. I couldn't see his face. And it seemed like we were in fog. We weren't actually, but there were great clouds all around us. And I saw a vast nothing behind him. And it was the same nothing that was in front of us as well. And I thought, oh my goodness, we are one very small boat. What are we doing? That was a memorable moment, I think. That was just last night.
Yeah.
Hope.
Just last night.
So my low was when we took down the code in winds that were a little too strong for my comfort zone. And we're taking them down. I had just gotten up, so of course it takes me a while to get oriented. So disoriented. Started to take him down, headed the wrong direction, boat heels over, Seth pushes me out of the way. Next thing I know, I'm just on the floor. Going, what just happened?
You guys ready?
Yep, I'm ready whenever you need.
I'm gonna put it behind us and we'll drop it.
Hold on.
I'm putting one touch and I got it.
Hold on. No, I can't open this. I can't open it.
Grab it. Hold it. Attention on it. Well, turn other way.
Sorry, it was so hard to open. I was trying so hard.
So that was
Did
bad.
it twice.
And we did it twice. You know, the first time wasn't good enough. But
Now we
But we
say
survived.
no to the code.
that was my low. My high is making it past halfway. Woohoo! We're gonna make it this time around. Gonna reach our goal.
I have to say, Hope, that was my scariest moment.
We all have PTSD. We all have so much PTSD from that, and I did get it on film. The one sail change that I actually filmed.
Drop it.
I'll grab it. Yep. Was that one, and now we say no to the code. We do not want to fly.
That was
Seth says yes to the code. He says we live in fear as females, but I say no to the code. We're shutting it down.
We live in fear with reason. But that was by far the most we had healed ever.
We had the tow rail just dunk. Just like, and the sail was in the water.
I thought the mast was gonna touch the water, and we weren't moving. It's not like we were down there for a second and we came back up, popped up. No, we were down there for a while.
That's so bad. That was just so bad. That was yesterday. All of our lows were the last day.
They're fresh.
All right, Seth. Low light and highlight.
The low for me has been the batteries we haven't been able to keep up with. So that's been just a constant annoyance more than anything. Just constantly checking the batteries and seeing how we're doing and not keeping them charged up. So now that we have the refrigerator off, I think, and most of the electronics off, I think that'll help. So that's my low. My high was catching the mahi-mahi.
Oh yeah, that was.
And being able to do that on day 4, that was a cool part of the trip.
I forgot about the mahi-mahi. AKA Dorado, AKA Dorado.
Seth's low is going slow.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No,
I'm surprised you
flapping of
picked
the
the
sail.
battery. The flapping of the sails.
But that's to be expected.
Okay, sailing post time.
Sailing post time.
Halfway.
Subscribe and let us know your high and your low of this video. Just the high, please. Just the high. I don't want to know the low. Day 12. We just put up. Whoops. We just put up the code 0. Light wind sailing tonight. That little bird has been with us for maybe the last 30 nautical miles all evening, just hanging out at the bow. We rolled in the jib, rolled down the furler, and hoisted the code, and he is still chilling there. We named him Dive Time because he's a diving bird and he's so cute.
What do you think, Mom?
8 to 10 knots
Away?
of wind, going 5 between 90 and 120.
Perfect code weather.
Yep.
It did increase our speed.
Always
Handle the
does.
stress of going up and down.
Oh, can we handle the stress of going up? Say no to the code. And we said yes. And he's still there, folks. He's hanging out with us. Into the sunset. We decided to take the main down just so that it wouldn't block our wind for the code. We're flying the code into this beautiful sunset.
Say yes to the code.
Say yes to the code, apparently, even though I like to say no to the code. But you like to say yes to the code.
Right.
I hate the code.
Giving us good speed.
It does give us
Gotta
good
keep
speed.
it filled.
Sometimes we struggle to keep it full in light wind because we only have 6-7 knots of wind. But in 8 knots of wind right now, we're going 5.4, 7, 6. We're doing good. My shift's done. Time for me to go to bed.
Get your rest.
Yep, bird's still on the bow. Day 13 starts tomorrow. Day 12 is in the books. Halfway to Hawaii, mile-wise. So let's go. Night. Good night.
Alright, get your rest.
Yep. It is the morning of day 13. Last night was brutal. We didn't get any wind. We had like averaging like 5 knots of wind maybe, and not enough for the code 0. It was just flapping, so we took it down. Definitely not enough for the main to like keep the boom from slamming. So we just put the preventer on the boom, put a little bit of main up, and we were moving at like maybe 1 to 2 knots. So that was kind of brutal. I ended up bringing my blankets and stuff out, and I slept up here this morning right in this little crevice in front of the companionway. So I got some pretty decent sleep there, all things considering. We were moving about around like a little rolly a bit. But now it is the morning time. It's almost 9 o'clock. Hope and I have been taking turns at the helm. I just finished my shift and we're kind of averaging low wind of 12, high of like 18 so far. And we have the main almost all the way up. And I think we're averaging like 5.5, 6 knots. So now we are moving and grooving. So hopefully we can make up some ground because last night we did nothing. It just felt like we just kind of sat all night. Moved a little bit, but not very much. So day 13, hopefully that'll be good. The big winds and the big seas come tomorrow. So this is probably starting to pick up. I got to download our grid files through Iridium and the offshore predict wind app and see what we're looking at. But I'm thinking this is the start of it. And then we should be tomorrow getting maybe gusts in the 30s, but mostly I think in the 20s will be with the wind. It's just the sea state's going to be pretty brutal. I think it's going to be like 12, 14, maybe 15 foot swells. I'm hoping they're also kind of spaced far apart. So more to come on that. So this is probably picking up, and then tomorrow, which is Monday, and then the next day, Tuesday, will probably be the worst sea state and winds that we've had so far. But I think we're all sort of looking forward to a little bit more wind just because we've had like nothing for a while. But the sea state will, I don't know, I'll have to get used to it. But all right, day 13. It is day 13 and I am in, I just got up from a nap. I am in one of the aft cabins and we are running the generator. Whoa. We are running the generator right now. It's a little rolly. So day 14, which is tomorrow, is what I'm calling game time on post time. So it is game time tomorrow. We're suiting up. We're going to harness the wind and we're going to ride those waves. I am a little nervous. Not going to lie. This is very new. I jumped into this and this is a lot of sailing. This is a lot of offshore sailing very quickly. We've had really great weather so far, so tomorrow's supposed to be like the worst, I think, and then same with the following day. So day 14 and 15 are supposed to be a little sporty. Hopefully it's not as bad as what the forecast shows, but it looks like up to 32 knots with gusts of wind, and I think it was 4.5 meters of swell, like 13.5 foot swells, so waves. Ooh. So we're gonna see. We positioned ourselves still north of Hawaii, so we haven't dropped down yet because we're gonna ride the waves south versus trying to have them on our beam because that would suck. So I am just waking up now. I'm gonna make some dinner for everybody, and yeah, that's day 14. Good sailing today for the most part. We haven't motored at all today. We were just running the generator to charge our batteries. That way we can save some diesel for like the last leg of the trip as we're kind of rounding into Hawaii. It might be a little bit lighter because I think there's some Kona winds, so they're coming up, and I think it's kind of making a little bit of purple around the island. So we'll see. I haven't thought about that yet. I'm just working on tomorrow and the next day. So I'm gonna go make dinner, get some sailing in. I'm sore and I'm very tired, and mentally I think this has been the hardest part of the trip is this weather and not being able to control anything. It's a lot. Like, we've been out at sea for like 2 weeks, so I'm just pretty tired. But I'm also sore because these muscles are brought to you by Lumar 52s. It's sore. I'm sore, and I've got bruises all over my legs because we are like wedging ourselves in the kitchen, wedging ourselves in the cockpit just when we're wenching and cooking and all the things. So pretty sore. I've got bruises here, got my muscles ready to go, and I'm gonna go make, it's Sunday tonight, and we're actually gonna keep our traditional live that we do is breakfast night on Sunday. I'm gonna go make pancakes, and we'll see, probably with some honey because we don't have syrup because we don't have a working fridge at this time. It works, we just don't have it on to save power. Day 13 in the books. Getting mentally ready now for day 14, game time on post time. Here is my view from my bedroom. It is just very blue, clear skies. We're getting solar today, and it's really awesome. The other day I looked out the window and we saw dolphins, so then I went up on the bow, but no dolphins today, but just clear, beautiful skies for miles. Nobody else around. Haven't seen a cargo ship in a while. We also have these windows over here, which I like because you can see who's in the cockpit. So that way on night shift, I can see who is at the helm. So Hope's right now at the helm and Seth is sitting up there. And that just has been nice because in the middle of the night, if I'm worried or whatever, because I'm a worrier, I can look out here and make sure that Seth is still safe and secure in the cockpit. All right, we're making some pancakes. We've got the generator going on up there. I'm making some pancakes. Should probably be using the fresh food because everything in this fridge now is turned off. And really there's just like some cheese and meat that probably is gonna go bad. So, but I'm just decided we're making pancakes because the meat's pretty much bad anyways. We gotta dump that. I'm gonna flip this while we're rolling and holding the camera. Bear with me, folks. Ew.
Breakfast for dinner.
Sunday breakfast night, UN tradition.
Woo!
Yay!
Alright, there's a boat, the Janet Marie, coming within about 2 to 3 nautical miles from us. Other humans are near us. We're gonna go right past them. We're getting out of his way.
So we went into the wind a couple times, reefed the main, reefed the head sail, and so now we got the sails trimmed kind of how we want it. And so we're making good speed, and we finally got the good wind that we've been looking for. So we'll probably have this plus some swell the next couple of days, and then we'll see where we're at that point. We'll probably go a little bit south, southwest as much as we possibly can for the next couple of days.
guys, so day 14, least favorite day so far of mine. I am not gonna lie. Wind's picking up, waves are picking up, and it's just gonna get worse over the next 48 hours. So I am just kind of preparing myself. But mentally, I think it's been really hard today. I know that I need bravery. Oops. I know that I need bravery, but I'm struggling to get it right now. Yeah, I think I know my limits, and I'm like, this makes me nervous. So I'm just trying to hang in there. My shift is shortly, so I gotta like, I don't know, not pee my pants. I need to just deal with it. The swell hopefully will come across on camera, but it's decent swells. Today I think is only like 3 meters, so not really that bad. And the wind is higher, but it's just more than what we've been used to. And then it starts to pick up to 4-meter waves, and then 5 meter. I think at the peak it's like 5.5 meter waves, like 15 to 17 foot waves, which just makes me want to pee my pants. Yeah, I just keep reminding myself. Our neighbor mentioned a while ago that like you'll see a wall of water, and it's kind of scary, but then your boat just rises to meet it, and then soon enough you learn that your boat will rise with every single wave. And so far that's true. I gotta just keep reminding myself that. It just seems so crazy to me. So I will go bring you outside into the elements. Yeah, I think what's hard is I've been wanting to control like the weather. Like it's just, I don't want to go too fast, and I don't want to go too slow. I want to get to Hawaii. I want really great conditions, which is not, I mean, that's like asking for like the perfect weather window, which we won't have. I mean, if we only have 48 hours of tough weather, that's pretty good, but just tending to be a little bit longer of a trip than I planned, and then this is a little bit spicier than I planned. I didn't really want spicy. I did not want spicy, but it'll be a good, I guess you're not a good sailor if you don't go through these things, because then you never learn. Seth, nobody else is worried. It's just me. I think it's just my personality, so I'm trying to work on that because I want to enjoy the journey, but I keep finding myself wanting to just get to the destination and not, oh, can you see water? These windows are getting coated in water. Just, we're dunking them. This morning we were going 2 knots because we had no wind last night, and now we're like going crazy. So this morning I was frustrated because we weren't going fast enough, and then now I'm like, oh my goodness, like, we need a reef. It's just, I don't know. I'm just learning a little bit about myself and some flaws that I have of fears and anxiety. So I will bring you outside and show you the elements because it's getting a little spicy.
Sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough. When you're thinking everything is gone wrong, just remember that I'm here to cheer you on. Yeah, I wanna pick you up from the ground, let you know that I'm always around, 'cause I know we can make it, yes we can make it if we try, keep on trying. You got it, I believe in you. You got it, I know you got this. You got it, just keep on. A lot of bumps in the road. Oh yeah, always carrying that oh so heavy load. When you feel like there's too much on your plate, just call on me, and 'cause I know we can make it. Yeah, we can make it if we try. Yes, we can make it if we try. Keep on trying.
As expected, our winds and waves have picked up quite a bit. So the most we've gotten so far have been winds at around 29 to 40 knots. And our waves are about 16 feet. Fortunately, they're pretty gradual and far apart, so that's been helpful. And we're now going more south, so kind of putting them behind us a little bit, give us a little push. Our fastest reported boat speed was 12.7, which is an absurd record.
I believe in you. Got it. Trying. Keep on trying, girl. Got it. You're gonna make it.
All right, day 15 started out last night at around midnight. We had a small but mighty squall. We got about 37 knots of wind. We got downpour, and the sea state was just very, very messy. So I wish we could have filmed it, but it was just so dark and kind of high pressure because we needed to reef in as quickly as possible. And then the main actually got stuck in the rolling furler boom. So Seth had to actually go forward, flip in to the mast to fix it when we were doing all the reefing and kind of troubleshooting it. So a lot of stuff happened last night. But today's swell is a little bit better. It's actually bigger, but it just feels less rough. Winds have so far gotten up to 39, but for the most part they're hovering in like 22 to 28 knots. So we're just plugging along. We're going slower. We don't have as much sail out because it seems to change really quickly. It'll go from like in the 20s, then I'll just hit 39 like immediately. We are about 1,500 nautical miles into the trip, so we have 1,000 left, and we're on day 15. So if we average about 100 nautical miles a day, we'll be done in 10 more days. So it'll be a total of 25 days. All right, here's our poor solar panel flapping a little bit. It's not getting any solar anymore because it came unplugged or it broke just with the high winds. So it's all right, but we got to figure out. Oh, there it is flapping. You can see it flapping away. It's trying to get off this boat. It's tied down pretty well, so it shouldn't go anywhere. This may not work much anymore.
Keep on trying. Oh, baby, I believe in you.
Hey guys, day 16 here. As you can see, the swell is still a little messy. Still pretty decent waves. We've got maybe about 5.3 meters waves over here. Wind though is better. So the wind, we had some squalls last night that got up actually to 40 knots. So we were really reefed and we didn't really go that fast. We were just kind of slowly moving along, but just to protect the sails and protect the boat. Didn't want to over push it. But now we have actually more, like max is 30, but I think we're in the 18, 20, 25 range. So we've got the mainsail up, how it was when we were reefed for the storm. And then we have the head sail, whoa. We have the head sail up a little bit. And we're kind of cruising along between 5-7 knots. We're trying to make up ground for what we missed during the storm and low wind periods. So we tried to play it more conservative. But now the swell is slowly dying off. We should have it go from like 5.2 to 5.1, 5, 4.9, all the way down and then in the next 2 days it's going to be like a 2-meter swell. So we are moving it along. We're just kind of going in between the waves and the troughs. They're pretty big though. They're pretty big. But I think I've gotten used to them now, and the fact that they're very spread apart, the interval's like 10, 11 seconds, which makes it more manageable than very close together. This would be very tough if it was close together. So moving and grooving, it's not the most comfortable sail. Predict Wind actually stopped forecasting us a route because we had it put for comfort, and apparently swells like this and wind like this isn't comfortable. Who would have thought? We've got 950 nautical miles until Hawaii. So we're approaching, what? Whoa, that was a big one. Oh man. We sometimes have these rogue waves that I swear are like 20 feet big. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, I wish you could see that. That's like a surf wave. Nobody's gonna be able to see that. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't show the waves justice, but some of these waves are so big, I feel like you could surf them. They're so great. That was insane. I've been trying to get a good picture and video of them to show the magnitude, but when I film, it just looks kind of like a lake, which is really frustrating for the camera woman. Seth has been a champ. He hasn't been scared at all. The waves and the wind and then the 40 knots weren't my favorite, so I was a little scared, a lot of scared. But he's been doing good. He's been quoting Pirates of the Caribbean, singing the theme song, part of the ship, part of the crew, and then yells cannons at the bow when a wave hits and we hit it at the bow. We're having a good time out here. So day 16, almost halfway through, and we'll see how it goes. All right, day 17, and this is just the epitome of sailing. The swell has lessened from yesterday, so it actually feels like we're sailing in a kiddie pool. So sometimes you gotta sail in the big kid pool so you can know what the kiddie pool feels like. So this is just the epitome of sailing. We are moving at like 5-ish knots. Going 6 earlier, the wind died off a little bit, so now we're going 5. Just smooth, we're just kind of paving our own little path, heeling over slightly, but nothing wild. All the sail is out. We have the full main, full jib out, and it's pretty glorious. When we had some reefs in the sails earlier, so we actually turned on the engine just so that we could just utilize that to just kind of go into the wind, do the sail changes, and turn it off. Turned on the engine, and the engine started smoking. So the engine started smoking. We turned it off very quickly. Started smoking after about maybe 5 minutes. Turned it off super quickly, aired it out. And then we did put the sails up, and we've been kind of moving. So we got to troubleshoot. We can't decide if it smells like burning rubber or burning like electric. I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like rubber. That's my gut. But we're not sure. So we got to troubleshoot that. We still have some time obviously till we arrive to troubleshoot, because we shouldn't really need the engine too much upon arrival. We're sailing. That's why we have sails. We have a generator that runs on gas and propane for power. So we should be fine on all those, like, in those respects. So I have no worries about not having the engine. It's just getting into the slip would be nice to be able to like go from point A to point B without needing a tow. So we shall see. We shall see how that works. Seth did his like shakedown cruise in San Fran without an engine on the last 6 days. So we know we can do it without an engine, and we haven't been using autopilot. We've been doing a lot ourselves over here. So I feel like it's given us the confidence that on day 17 we can do anything. Hurrah, hurrah! I feel like we can conquer the world. Wind died down a little bit earlier today, which was a bummer, but it did pick up. So I'm hoping it kind of stays like this, and we just can make some progress. We did 120 nautical miles yesterday. I'm hoping that we can do another 120 today would be ideal. And we've got 850 nautical miles left as of this morning. And we've got about 300, probably more closer to 250 nautical miles now until we drop down southwest at like a 45-degree angle to Hawaii. So we are rounding the bend at the end. Probably have another week left. We're having a good time. I might try to make a decent dinner today because it's not as rolly. No promises. Where there is a will, there is a way. But sometimes I do not have the will to make dinner. When it's a rockin' and a rollin'. Here's my janky towel. I was sitting here earlier and I put this up to block the sun, because sometimes you just don't want to be in the sun all day. Here is just glorious, glorious sailing. It reminds me of the swell and the water and the sky of Hawaii. So I feel like we're getting close. Gorgeous sailing, gorgeous sea. I feel like there's like no clouds. They're just like little tiny little thing, like little puffs of cotton candy on the horizon, and then the sun is just beating on the sea, which is just making it glitter. Pretty glorious. I do want to point out that we have not used autopilot at all, except when we motored for like a couple hours. Other than that, we have not used autopilot at all for 17 days. We have been just hand steering Sometimes we sit, sometimes if it's rocking and a rolling, we're standing up. Like when it's 40 knots, you ain't sitting. You're standing. It's pretty crazy to not use autopilot. You don't rely on it. You have it, I guess, if you need to, but it just draws too much power. So we're sticking to the basics, using our noggins, our hands, our biceps, and our compass.
Marvelous.
Ladies and gentlemen, day 15 was the hardest day for me. Day 8 and day 15 were just every 8 days. Seems like we have a weird weather window, but day 15 was the hardest for me. I felt like the weather, I'm not a big fan. I felt like the wind was howling, and the wind also whistles off the rigging. So when it's 40 knots, you feel the knots on your face, you hear it. You also hear the like whistling of the wind on the rigging, which is just very eerie. It's just constantly in the middle of the night, and it just is like super creepy. Super creepy. And the weather just wasn't my favorite. The swell, it just wasn't great. However, I feel like I got my motivation back. Day 15 was kind of like a low point. I wasn't really feeling it, but now I'm like, let's do this. We got this. We're rounding the corner. And yeah, I have my motivation back. It's rounding the hump. Basically, I was doing good, had the hump of the weather that was kind of tough, and now we are going to the end. Seth is Steady Eddie. He's Mr. Steady Eddie. The one time I came up and I was like a little scared because it was pretty windy, and down below it just sounds like cannons were going off. It sounded like we were in a war, and Seth just told me to go to bed. He just said go to bed. So, oh, I tried to go to bed, but I didn't sleep that night. Sometimes you just gotta know what's going on. So I would just come up every hour to just see, like, it just felt like we were going 100 miles an hour. It was brutal, guys, not gonna lie, but we are done, and it's gorgeous, and I feel like today is the epitome of sailing. I just want to duplicate this day over and over and over again. However, that's not fun, because the unknowns I'm learning, and the different changes of paces, and the problems that you have, and just make it more fun. If it was just like this, maybe it would be boring. So, alright, that's my word of the day. Motivation. Mojo's back. Mojo came knocking and she's back. Back again. Again. Guess who's back? Alright folks, this is what a squall looks like. You can see the little rainbow in the corner of the squall. Luckily that one passed us, so we are missing that one. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. Make sure you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Join us next week when we find a dead carcass on board, one of our sails ends up in the ocean, and after 2,600 nautical miles, we see land. See ya!